It's 2 a.m. somewhere off I-40 in the middle of Texas. A driver wakes up in his sleeper cab with a fever, chest pain, and no idea what's wrong. His truck is worth $200,000. His load is on a delivery window. And the nearest hospital that can even fit a semi-truck in the parking lot is 45 minutes away. He's not near his doctor. He's not near his family. He's not even near anyone who knows his name. This is one of the most overlooked realities of the trucking life. Drivers spend weeks, sometimes months, hundreds or thousands of miles from home, and the healthcare system in this country was never built with them in mind. So, what actually happens when a trucker gets sick out there? Where do they go? Who do they call? And what does it cost? Not just in dollars, but in missed pay, missed home time, and sometimes missed diagnoses. That's what we're breaking down today. Here's the uncomfortable truth. America's healthcare system is built around the idea that you live near your doctor, your insurance network, and a hospital that knows your file. Trucking breaks every one of those assumptions. There are roughly 3.5 million professional truck drivers in the United States, and a huge share of them are over-the-road drivers, meaning they're rarely in the same city 2 days in a row. That's a problem the moment something goes wrong with their health, because most insurance plans are built around a home network. A plan that looks great near a driver's terminal in Ohio can become nearly useless if that same driver gets sick in Nevada. Even drivers with solid coverage can find themselves out of network the second they cross a few state lines. And it's not just about insurance, it's about logistics. A sedan can pull into almost any urgent care parking lot in America. An 80-foot tractor trailer cannot. Finding a place to safely park a rig, then finding transportation to a clinic, waiting for care, and getting a ride back to the truck can eat up 3 or 4 hours. Hours that, for many drivers, are hours they're not getting paid for and hours their freight isn't moving. So the honest first answer to what happens when a trucker gets sick is this. For a lot of drivers, the first thing that happens is nothing. They try to push through it. This is the part of the story that doesn't get talked about enough. In almost any other job, if you wake up with a fever, you call in sick. In trucking, calling in sick isn't just about missing a shift. It can mean missing a delivery window, losing the load, disrupting a dispatcher's whole week. And for a company driver being paid by the mile, it can mean a paycheck that's suddenly a lot lighter. For an owner-operator, it's worse. A parked truck isn't just a truck that isn't earning. It's a truck that still has a payment due, insurance due, and no revenue coming in to cover either one. That financial pressure is exactly why so many drivers try to self-treat. Over-the-counter medication, sleeping it off in the cab, pushing another 100 miles hoping symptoms fade. It's an incredibly common pattern in this industry, and it's also exactly how a manageable illness turns into something serious. A minor infection ignored for a week because a driver didn't want to lose a load can turn into a hospital visit that costs him far more time and money than stopping early ever would have. The instinct makes sense. But it's also the reason health issues among long-haul drivers so often get caught later and treated harder than they needed to be. So when a driver does decide to get care, what are the real options? Option 1. Telemedicine. This has genuinely changed the game over the last several years. A driver can pull into a truck stop, open an app, and talk to a licensed doctor by video, usually for a flat fee somewhere around $50 per visit, or through a monthly subscription plan that covers unlimited consults. For common issues, a sinus infection, a stomach bug, a minor injury, a telemedicine doctor can often diagnose the problem and send a prescription to a nearby pharmacy without the driver ever leaving the truck stop parking lot. It's fast, it's cheap relative to an ER visit, and it doesn't require finding parking for an 80-foot truck at a medical building that was clearly designed with sedans in mind. Option 2. Truck stop medical clinics. Major truck stop chains have started opening actual walk-in clinics directly on their properties. Some staffed with nurse practitioners, some offering DOT physicals, basic primary care, and treatment for common on-the-road ailments. Option 3. Trucker-friendly urgent care. Some urgent care centers and independent clinics sit near large parking areas built for 18-wheelers and understand what a driver needs. Fast turnaround, minimal paperwork, and confidence their rig will still be there when they walk out. Option 4. The emergency room. The last resort. When it's serious, chest pain, a major injury, symptoms that can't wait. The ER is still the answer, and drivers absolutely should not hesitate. But it comes at a real cost. An average ER visit runs well into the thousands, and if a driver is out of network or uninsured, that bill lands squarely on them. It's also the slowest option for getting back on the road, and parking a semi near most hospitals is its own challenge. The pattern across all of these options is the same. The industry has slowly built workarounds for a healthcare system that was never designed for people who live on the highway. But those workarounds only help if a driver knows they exist, and many newer drivers don't, until they're stuck at 2 a.m. figuring it out for the first time. Getting treated is only half the story. The other half is what happens to a driver's income and schedule while all of this is playing out. For a company driver, a few sick days usually means a few days of lost mileage pay. Painful, but survivable. If it stretches to a week or two, that's a real dent, and sick leave is often minimal. For an owner-operator, the math is brutal. No employer safety net, no paid sick leave, and no revenue while payments and insurance still come due. If recovery takes longer, some owners scramble to find a relief driver just to keep the wheels turning. This is why veterans say the same thing. In trucking, an emergency fund isn't optional. It's essential. The drivers who handle this best do a few things long before they get sick. They choose health coverage with a truly national network, so a random illness 3 states away is an inconvenience, not a disaster. They keep a telemedicine subscription active year-round. They build a real emergency fund, separate from operating cash, and they stop treating minor symptoms as something to push through. Catching something small early is cheaper and faster than getting sidelined for 2 weeks. None of this fixes the core issue. The system wasn't built for a highway-based workforce, but it turns a potential crisis into a rough week. Closing. This is the part of trucking that never makes the highlight reels. It's not glamorous, but it's real. If you're a driver, know your options before you need them. Know the trucker-friendly clinics on your routes. Know what your insurance covers away from home. And build a cushion. Because out here, your health and your paycheck are tied together. If you found this useful, subscribe. We cover the parts of the industry nobody else talks about every week. Know your options, stay rolling, subscribe.